The Mysterons, sworn enemies of Earth, possessing the ability to recreate an exact likeness of an object or person. But first, they must destroy. Leading the fight, one man fate has made indestructible. His name, Captain Scarlet. In a remote and rocky part of Europe, a monorail train hurtles along the track. Among the passengers are two of the world's leading supermodels.
I'm so looking forward to seeing Monte Carlo.
I am very excited myself, even after 5 years.
5 years? It's a long time.
Working for Monsieur Verdain, it does not seem so long. Each year there are new fashions, the spring collection, then the summer, then winter. Always there's something new.
I'm very lucky to be working for the House of Verdain.
Yes, it is tiring being a fashion model, but there is the traveling and the clothes.
And the excitement.
Ah, yes. Always the excitement.
We seem to be swaying around a lot.
Yes, usually these trains are so smooth.
Are you sure we're quite safe?
I don't know. We're going so fast. Too fast.
This is not the excitement I like.
Something is wrong. The train must be out of control.
Gabrielle was right. The Monte Carlo Express hurled itself from the monorail track and tumbled down the mountainside. None of the passengers stood a chance. Twin rings of Mysteron light sifted their way through the debris until they found their goal, the bodies of the two models from the House of Verdain. Moments later, the resurrected forms of Gabrielle and Helga stood silently viewing the wreckage from a distance. The Mysterons had recruited 2 new agents for their vengeful purpose.
We are about to attack the House of Verdain. Andre Verdain will die.
A fashion house?
That's what the Mysteron message said.
But why on earth would the Mysterons want to kill the owner of a French fashion house? It doesn't add up.
Maybe Colonel White can tell us when he returns.
Well, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I agree. From the photographs I've seen, Andre Verdain doesn't appear of particular importance to anyone, least of all the Mysterons.
I am so glad to see you. When I heard the train had crashed.
We were very lucky indeed.
If we hadn't decided to fly to Monte Carlo at the last minute, we'd have been on that train.
I can't bear to think of it. Ah, but no, ma chérie. Let's talk of other things. I have lots of fabulous clothes for you to model. Please try and forget. You must look your best for the fashion show.
Don't worry, monsieur. We won't let you down. We know what we must do.
That's because you know nothing about it.
We were judging from his photograph.
Well, I can tell you Andre Verdain is resourceful and tough. In his job, he's got to be.
I'm sorry, sir. We didn't know that the House of Verdain is the cover for the European Area Intelligence Service.
How would you? Verdain's cover so far has been perfect. No one would believe that a man who runs a ladies' dress and fashion business could be a spy.
And Verdain controls operations from Paris?
Right. Without him, the whole of the European network would fold. We've got to give him protection without breaking his cover.
What's the Mysteron interest in all this?
Well, now, that's just it. Verdain reported recently that an agent resembling Captain Black has been working in Europe. He's been on his trail for some time.
Have we any idea how the Mysterons might attack Verdain?
We don't know, of course, but Verdain is holding a fashion show in Monte Carlo next week. If the Mysterons are going to kill him, my guess is that's where they'll try. We must be there in the background.
Well, I can't see any of us being inconspicuous at a fashion show.
Oh, I don't know. Spectrum isn't completely devoid of elegance and charm.
Colonel White's elegance and charm came in the guise of Angels Symphony and Destiny, who were preparing for their latest mission.
How do I look? Magnifique. Well, this assignment is certainly different.
Yes, it'll be great to get out of uniform for once. Well, we better get up to the control room for the Colonel's briefing.
Where are Destiny and Symphony Angels?
They're on their way, sir. Here they are now.
Wow.
This is an official meeting, not the Folie Bergère.
Sorry, sir.
Well, your covers are arranged. Destiny and Symphony Angels are to be models attached to the House of Verdain. Captain Scarlet is a press relations man, and Captain Blue, a photographer. I can't remember an assignment when secrecy mattered so much. Only Verdain will know your true identity.
Welcome to Monte Carlo. How was the journey?
Well, we were scheduled to land in Paris, but it was fog-bound. So we flew direct to Monte Carlo. And we'd better drop our Spectrum code names. I'm Paul Metcalf. This is Adam Svensson.
Monsieur Verdain?
Right. Let's get on to details.
Have the arrangements for our cover been finalized?
It's a big problem. My value to the European Area Intelligence Service is only of use if no one suspects the House of Verdain. Maybe it would be better if I face this Mysteron threat alone.
We have our orders, Monsieur Verdain.
All right. Destiny and Symphony will pass as models, and you, Paul and Adam, will join my public relations staff.
That should give us a chance to stay close.
Right. I'm spending tomorrow on board my cabin cruiser with some of the girls. I suggest you join the party.
Don't worry, Monsieur Verdain. We're not letting you out of our sight.
Verdain's motor cruiser was the height of luxury. The day was as perfect as the view, and it was still difficult to accept that the Mysteron's latest threat was against our host, or that we could be in the company of any of their agents. A light aircraft passed overhead, breaking the moment.
Look. I've always longed to be a pilot. Do you think you could be one?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't think I would have a head for heights.
Monsieur Verdain, can we go for a trip around the bay?
Ma chérie, most certainly. We shall finish our drinks and then go. Yes?
If we are going sailing, I must get something for my air. Excuse me.
Everything all right, Symphony?
Yes, I think so.
She seemed to be asking a lot of leading questions. You'd better follow her.
SIG.
The Mysteron agent slipped silently down to the cruiser's engine room. Thinking she hadn't been followed, Gabrielle let herself in. The room was full of gleaming state-of-the-art technology, but only one small valve held any interest for her: the fuel release. She quickly located it and seconds later started to turn the control. Symphony had reached the engine room and was about to check on Gabrielle when Helga approached her.
Symphony, there's something I want to ask you.
What was that?
Would you mind stepping into my cabin for a moment?
Of course.
Without fear of discovery, Gabrielle returned to the task at hand and forced open the valve. Fuel began to gush out of the cruiser's tanks and spill over the engine. On the bridge, Verdain pulled on the throttle and the engine burst into life. The cruiser moved away from its mooring and began to speed across the bay.
She can really move. I'll open her up.
As the engine grew hotter in response to Verdain's demands, the spilled fuel began to fume. At first, only tiny wisps of smoke seeped out from around the door. But as the fuel ignited, the fumes rapidly thickened.
What's that smell?
Look, smoke. We're on fire.
By now, the flames had taken hold and the entire engine room was ablaze.
The fuel! It's the engine room.
Where's the main tank?
In the engine room. It will explode any minute. We must get clear.
Right. Get everyone overboard. I'll take the boat out to sea.
Well, you'd be killed.
Do as I say. Abandon ship.
Jump, everybody! Jump!
Captain Scarlet seized the wheel and, using all his strength, pointed the burning craft out to sea. It cut through the waves, belching thick black smoke in its wake. Scarlet barely had time to jump overboard before she blew.
I can't understand how you came out of it alive.
It's a long story. But there's no doubt in my mind that fire was a deliberate attempt on your life.
It could have been an accident. The main thing is that no one was killed.
I can assure you it was no accident.
If your theory is correct, it means someone on board that ship started the fire.
Yes. A Mysteron agent.
Have you any idea who it could be?
I'm afraid not. Our Mysteron detector went down with the ship. A replacement's on its way. But we think Gabrielle was near the engine room just before the fire.
You think she might have been taken over by the Mysterons?
She might have been. That's the way the Mysterons work.
Well, we may find out at the press reception tonight.
Don't you think it would be wise to postpone that?
No. The Mysterons may have threatened my life, but my agents report that Captain Black is in Monte Carlo.
And you think he may show up at the reception?
Yes. The trap is ready.
With you as bait?
Possibly. But that's the way it'll have to be. I'll see you tonight.
In the light of Verdain's decision, Scarlet and I met up before the reception to discuss security. We were taking no chances.
That's what he said.
Couldn't you talk him out of it?
Not a chance.
Does he realize the danger?
Verdain knows, all right. He also knows he has a job to do.
What's the plan?
Well, I've got an idea. At least we'll be able to keep tabs on him. At the cocktail party before the reception,